Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at writing equations, and that means equations of lines, and we're going to do that when we're given some information to plug in. Okay, what we're going to be given is a couple of pieces of critical information that help us basically set this line or this equation apart from all the rest. Give a specific location and a specific steepness to that line. Okay, so let's look at one of the easier ones. Right? In order to write an equation of a line, most people probably see this frequently. This is the usual way a line is described. Y equals mx plus b. Now what you need to realize is what I put in red and purple, those are numbers. Numbers that tell how steep the line is and where it's at. Okay, location and steepness. Now we need to replace m and b with the correct numbers to describe this line. Y and x stay put. Every equation of a line has two variables, y and x. The y and x should always be there. So let's take a look at what we would do here. M is always the letter we use to represent the slope. So in this case, I have that information. I'm just given that the slope is 2/3. So 2/3 is going to go in right here. The x stays put. It doesn't go in place of the x. It goes in as the number that's attached to the x. And then with the y-intercept, that really helps with my location so I can compare it to other equations of lines. That goes in right here. So to rewrite this equation, I would have y equals, and I'm going to put in little boxes here. I do this a lot just to remind myself that I need a number in both of those places. Okay, well, in this case, the number that goes in this box is 2/3, and the number that goes in this box is -4. And now I might need to clean this up a little bit. I could rewrite this as y equals 2/3 x minus 4. I don't really need the plus negative because that's sort of overdoing it. Adding a negative is the same as subtracting. Now a lot of people are able to do that, but then when we jump to one that's slightly more difficult, they have a hard time seeing why it's any different. So I hope to show you that in this video. Let's start this one on the right the same way. Y equals something x plus something. Okay, now remember, whatever goes in this box should tell me my steepness. That tells me my slope. Oh, good deal. I already have that number. Okay, so that's not going to be difficult. I just put that number right there. Now, what went in this box is what told me where it crossed the y-axis. And over in this problem over here, I had that information. But in this one, I get this random point that happens to be on the line, but it's not the point that shows where it crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to need to find that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the letter B here because that's what we usually use to signify that, just a habit to get into. So let's rewrite what we know. Y equals -3 x plus b. Okay. Now, I have three variables in this. I need a number for b. I got to figure out what that should be in order for the line to actually pass through this point. So if I just make up a number there, that doesn't mean it's the line that's in the right location to pass through that spot. So let's take that information and do something with it. What you'll see is that you have an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate that happen to be on this line. And this works for any x and y coordinates that happen to be on this line. I'm going to take that x-coordinate and I'm going to plug it in where I see an x. Then I'm going to take the y-coordinate and plug it in where I see a y. So I get this equation that says -5 equals -3 times 2 plus b. And now I don't have a whole bunch of variables. I just have one to solve for, b. That's what I'm looking for, right there. So let's see what the numbers tell us. -5 equals -6 plus b. All right, if I want to solve for b, I'm going to add 6 to both sides, and I end up with b equals 1. Okay, now that's what I was looking for right up here. Okay, I have that value, so let's write our general equation now. Let's go back to what we know. I'm going to write, let's try here, we'll write this in orange. Y equals, I already knew this. Okay, that was already given to me, -3x. Notice y and x stay put. And then I happen to find that value. It's right here, +1. There's the equation of that line. Now, the only way this could ever get more difficult is if you weren't given this value either, but you were given a way to figure it out. And that's what we're going to address in the next lesson.